Rome in July 1943 was a gray city shrouded in smoke from the bombing, its people's hearts pounding under the yoke of fear and hunger. Fascism, which had promised eternal glory to the people, was beginning to tremble under the weight of reality, and the cannons in Sicily were roaring unabated. In the Venezia Palace, where Mussolini had once appeared before the crowds, waving his fist, time began to yawn, as if history had finally decided to bring down the curtain on a long-running drama. Dino Grandi, that quiet-looking aristocrat, lawyer, and diplomat, had returned to the center of the equation. A man of the nobility, he held ministerial and ambassadorial positions, and was quietly sidelined when he began to express reservations about Mussolini's impulsive alliance with Hitler. But he hadn't yet left history. On the night of July 24th, the Fascist Supreme Council, the Grand Consiglio, met, a body long forgotten under Mussolini's absolute rule. The meeting wasn't a passing administrative event, but a last supper for souls hovering over an abyss. Mussolini sat at the head of the table, paler than usual, his eyes vacillating, as if he saw his own shadow on the wall rather than his own image. The Grandi, sitting quietly at the other end, stood up. His voice wasn't loud, but it carried a weight the hall hadn't known for years. Mr. Deuce, war politics have led us to a dead end, the people are suffering, the army is collapsing, and the Allies are at our doorstep. It is time for the king to return to his constitutional authority and assume his responsibilities as the legitimate leader of the country. Eyes were fixed on him, some terrified, some resentful, and some afraid that his support would be made public. Grandi then read his proposed resolution to withdraw confidence from Mussolini's leadership and invite the king to assume the reins. In his heart, he wasn't happy. He wasn't a traitor, as some later described him, but rather saw himself as a last soldier in the battle to save what remained of Italian dignity. The meeting continued until dawn. Some tried to stall, some resorted to justifications, but in the end, the vote was taken, 19 in favor, 7 against, and 1 abstention. Mussolini was still sitting. He wasn't angry. He didn't scream. He simply shook his head and said, "The regime has fallen, by its own men."